Hello guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is CC Artist, and today's video is just a how to line art slash inks. This is primarily like for comics because I line art for my illustrations, but like my style for illustrations is not really like, it's not line art heavy. Like it's mainly just like there's line art in it, but I'm not trying to make it smooth, clean line art. Like I use very like sketchy lines, and I leave my line art all messy because I like the look. But for my comics, what I always wanted to do was have like very concise line art, very like smooth, good looking line art. So when I do my flat colors and I shade, I don't need a lot of shading, so I can reduce time with shading and get it, and like it still looks nice, right? So that's kind of what I want with my comics. So this video is just how to line art, and you guys can see my process for lining this the face turnarounds that I'm doing for my character called Lorena. At the end of this video, I'll show you the end product, and I also started shading it, and I really like how it's going, so I'm gonna add that in. And if you guys want, I might make a how-to for the shading process, do a minimalist shading for comics, and how I kind of make that look good and like be happy with that. So yeah, let's get on to this. Oh, before we go, the quote for this video is, "You might feel a bit better hearing that everything is learned." And the quote for last video, which is the first video which I started adding quotes to my video, and I didn't even say it in the video, but the quote for last video is, "My escape is an afternoon of drawing." Okay, so let's get on to this video. Okay, so let's go to the tips. So my first tip is draw long, smooth lines. You don't want lines that are you don't want to draw short lines to connect them. Like you want a very smooth line. Like if you look at her, well, right now I'm drawing the lips, but if you look at her, the outline of her face, like I didn't draw little lines to get the shape. I had to draw long, smooth lines, and that kind of made it look better. Cause like once you start drawing little lines, it starts looking like little hatches, and I don't think it looks good unless that's the style you're going for. And if it's clear that you're trying to do like a clean, smooth style, and it's just not working out, it won't look long and smooth, which you clicked on this video to learn tips about drawing long and smooth lines. So the second tip is, I hope that makes sense, you guys. Basically draw long, smooth lines, no short lines to create a longer line. Okay, you have to use one stroke for that full line to make it smoother. When you draw a short line and then you add another line to it, it's not as clean or as smooth. So the second tip is to redraw lines until you're satisfied with it. Because like you won't always get the lines correct the first time, and you have to be okay with redrawing those lines until you're satisfied with it. Unless you're like a really great artist that's really practiced like drawing the lines exactly how you want, the lines just might not be correct the first time. And this is something I've actually wanted to practice, like really putting down intentional lines. Like where I draw my line is where I want it to be. But like when I'm drawing line art, I almost draw like absent-mindedly. But like I have to start like actively thinking when I'm drawing my line art and inking my comics, right? So until I can do that, I'll just, and until you can do that, I'll just say, redraw the lines until you're satisfied. And then my third tip is to redo your sketches over on another layer until the lines are as clear as possible. Like, I would redo my sketches over and over until like I don't have to decide where to put my line art. Like, it's going on the sketch where the sketch was, and I don't have to decide between two lines or near each other. So if you look at this sketch, I actually didn't have to do that many sketch layers, because I gotta really try to do the sketch really clean and stuff. I tried my best, so I didn't have to worry about that. But when I first started, I was like, you draw a sketch that looked good, and it looked good because like there were so many lines right next to each other that the drawing wasn't really clear, so I couldn't make out the mistakes in the individual lines, like the slight bend on my face where I didn't really meant to put a bend. And then I would draw the line art, and then the line art would just come out looking like really bad when I liked the sketch, and that really frustrated me. So my tip is to really draw the sketch, redo your sketches over and another layer, and you could redo them again until the lines are as clear as possible. And then the fourth tip is you want to draw lines with curves with one stroke. Okay, like you want to draw those curves with one stroke. For example, the jaw. After you could draw the jaw in your sketch layer with two lines, right, to really get that bend where you want it. But on the line art layer, just if you're drawing on paper, you turn the paper. If you're drawing on an art program digitally, you turn that canvas around and you angle it to where you feel comfortable drawing the curve like with one stroke, because that's how it will really look nice, like it would be a smooth curve fully. But if you're not comfortable with doing that, and like you feel like it's too much of a risk, especially when you're drawing digitally, you might want to like practice it on another paper, or another drawing that you don't really care about, or you may just want to make a lot of sketches that you don't, and then a lot of sketches, just to practice doing that over and over. And then the fifth tip is use the eraser tool to smooth and curve out edges and lines. So you might not always be able to draw the curves in a line, with one stroke. And when that happens, use the eraser tool, okay? Like, the eraser tool is there, and it's not just to erase lines you don't want. You can use it to manipulate the lines that you do want, and you smooth it out. If there's a line sticking out, erase that line, and then it's just way better, more smoother, and the curve is a curve without, being like a point and stuff, like without being like a square, like your lines are forming like an angle or point when you really want it to be smooth and be a curve. So those are the 5 tips. So let me just summarize them real quick. Number 1, long smooth lines. Number 2, redraw the lines until you're happy with it. Number 3, redo your sketches until the lines are as clear as possible. Number 4, draw lines with curves with one stroke. Number 5, use the eraser tool to smooth and curve out edges and lines. So try to draw like another piece using these tips, and let me know if there's one you've been using all along, and if there's a new one that I really just showed you in this video. And I hope these really help you guys, because like I know once I started implementing them, they worked way better for me. My line arts look cleaner and way smooth, and way more smooth, which you guys can see in this video. Okay, so 3 pictures will come on the screen showing my progress of the character in this video's face turnarounds. And in this picture, you guys can see that I've started flat coloring and I've started doing line art for the other turnarounds for her. And then another picture should be coming up soon too. Okay, this one, you guys can see I finished coloring the middle row. I just love how she looks. I love her hair. I love her whole her whole face, and I'm so happy that the line art turned out so good. Like, the tips that I put in this video are the same ones I implemented while drawing this turnaround, and I'm about to be done. Like, we're at the time of where I am speaking right now. The only thing I have left is to do her hair for the top row, but I'm not even sure if I want to do her hair, because since this is a comic, like, I have to get myself used to not see her hair shaded, even if it's only like a little bit of shading. But I just love the middle and the bottom row. Obviously the top row I still need, you know, more practice drawing from those angles. I just love this drawing. Let me know your thoughts on the character, and yeah, and the tips that I gave in this video. And thank you for watching. If you like this video and you'd like to see more of my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, and comment.